The world is home to a diverse array of animals, each with its own unique behaviors and social structures. While some species thrive in large social groups, others prefer a more solitary existence. In this video, we will explore 8 of the world's most solitary animals, delving into their fascinating characteristics and the reasons behind their solitary lifestyles. So, without wasting any time, let's dive into our video. Platypus. One of Australia's most unique native animals, the platypus is known for its solitary nature and reluctance to share its habitat with others. This bizarre-looking creature, resembling a combination of a duck, beaver, and otter, is listed as near threatened on the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, Red List of Endangered Species due to habitat loss and other threats. Platypuses, or Platypi, are semi-aquatic, egg-laying mammals native to eastern Australia. They are solitary animals, coming together only to breed before going their separate ways. Platypuses are territorial and will aggressively defend their stretch of river or stream against other platypuses. When not breeding, platypuses live alone in burrows dug into the banks of rivers, creeks, and lakes. Females lay their eggs and raise their young alone, with no involvement from the males after mating. Platypuses forage for food, mainly aquatic insects, crustaceans, and worms by themselves. They are active primarily at dawn and dusk, spending the rest of the time resting in their burrows. The platypus's solitary nature is likely an adaptation to its environment and the need to conserve energy. By living alone, platypuses can minimize competition for resources and reduce the risk of injury from aggressive encounters with other platypuses. This unique mammal's solitary lifestyle is just one of the many fascinating aspects of its biology. Polar bear. While polar bears are not as solitary as some other animals on this list, they still exhibit a largely solitary lifestyle, especially as adults. These massive Arctic predators are known for their preference for isolation, with the exception of females with cubs or during the breeding season. Adult polar bears maintain large, exclusive territories that can range from 620 to 2,600 square miles. They mark their territories with scent and visual cues, such as scratching posts and piles of rocks. Polar bears are primarily solitary hunters, using their keen sense of smell to locate seals and other prey. Females give birth to and raise their cubs alone in snow dens, with no involvement from the male after mating. Cubs remain with their mother for 2 to 3 years, learning to hunt and survive on their own before dispersing to establish their own territories. While young polar bears may play together, adults prefer to be left alone except during mating season and when raising their cubs. Polar bears will tolerate the company of others if they find a large enough food source, such as the carcass of a whale, that can be shared. The polar bear's solitary nature is well suited to its harsh, icy habitat. By living alone, these bears can efficiently utilize the limited resources available in their environment while minimizing competition with other predators. Their solitary lifestyle also helps to conserve energy and reduce the risk of injury during territorial disputes. Snow leopard. The snow leopard is a prime example of one of the world's most solitary animals. These elusive big cats are known for their reclusive and independent nature, preferring to live and hunt alone in the rugged mountain ranges of Central and South Asia. Snow leopards are solitary animals, with the exception of females with cubs or during the breeding season. Adults maintain large, exclusive territories that can range from 12 to 40 square miles. They mark their territories with scrape marks, feces, and urine to communicate their presence to other snow leopards. Snow leopards are primarily nocturnal and crepuscular, hunting alone at dawn and dusk. Females give birth to and raise their cubs alone, with no involvement from the male after mating. Cubs remain with their mother for 18 to 22 months, learning to hunt and survive on their own before dispersing to establish their own territories. In addition to their solitary nature, snow leopards are known for their exceptional camouflage and elusive behavior. They like to perch on rocky outcrops and cliffs to watch for prey and spot intruders while remaining unseen. Remarkably, there has never been a verified snow leopard attack on a human, as they prefer to avoid confrontation and will typically flee rather than defend their territory or food. The snow leopard's solitary nature is well suited to its harsh, high-altitude habitat. Solitary sandpiper. The solitary sandpiper is a prime example of a highly solitary shorebird species. Unlike most other sandpipers that migrate and forage in flocks, the solitary sandpiper is aptly named for its preference to travel and live alone. These birds are typically seen singly or in pairs, rarely in larger groups, even during migration. Solitary sandpipers prefer to forage alone along the banks of quiet freshwater streams, ponds, and wooded swamps. When approached, solitary sandpipers exhibit nervous bobbing behaviors and make high-pitched whistling calls before eventually flying away. Unlike other sandpipers that nest on the ground, solitary sandpipers uniquely nest in the abandoned tree nests of songbirds like American robins, rusty blackbirds, and cedar waxwings. Solitary sandpipers are only seen together in pairs during the breeding season or when mothers are caring for their young. The solitary sandpiper's preference for isolation sets it apart from the more social and flocking behaviors of other shorebird species. Its independent nature and distinctive nesting habits make it one of the most solitary animals in the avian world. Moose. The moose, the largest member of the deer family, is known for its solitary nature. Unlike most deer species, moose do not travel in herds. Instead, they live independently, with calves staying with their mothers until they are about 1 year old before going off on their own. Standing up to 6 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing over 1,000 pounds, moose are solitary animals, except for females with calves or during the breeding season. Males, bulls, will occasionally fight each other over a mate during the breeding season, but they spend the rest of their lives alone. Moose are primarily nocturnal and crepuscular, meaning they are most active at sunrise and sunset. They spend their time finding new grazing spots, eating and resting to let their food digest, while always being wary of nearby predators like bears, wolves, and cougars. The moose's solitary nature is well suited to its habitat, where it can efficiently utilize the limited resources available while minimizing competition with other animals. Desert tortoise. The desert tortoise is a prime example of a highly solitary animal, even when it comes to raising its young. Unlike many other solitary species, female desert tortoises take solitary parenting to the extreme. Female desert tortoises dig holes in the ground to lay their eggs, then rarely return to the nest after laying. The tiny hatchlings, no larger than a quarter, are completely on their own from birth, having to fend for themselves and avoid predators. Less than 2% of desert tortoise hatchlings make it to sexual maturity, highlighting the challenges they face in their solitary early life. Desert tortoises spend the majority of their lives alone, only coming together to mate and occasionally sharing a burrow during hibernation. They are adapted to their arid environment by being largely inactive during the hottest parts of the day, conserving energy and resources. When they do emerge, desert tortoises forage alone, finding their own food sources of grasses, flowers, and other desert plants. The desert tortoise's extreme solitary nature, from egg-laying to adulthood, is a key adaptation to its harsh desert habitat. By living independently, these reptiles can efficiently utilize limited resources and minimize competition with other animals. However, their solitary lifestyle also makes hatchlings highly vulnerable to predation, contributing to their low survival rates. Hawaiian monk seal. The Hawaiian monk seal is a prime example of a highly solitary animal, even among its own species. Unlike most seals that live in colonies, the Hawaiian monk seal prefers a mostly reclusive life, found only in the Hawaiian Islands. Hawaiian monk seals are considered endangered, with only 632 mature individuals left in the wild. They interact only when mating and raising their young, and sometimes lie next to each other in small groups. However, they are rarely close enough to make physical contact, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The seals are monestrous, meaning they give birth to a single pup each year during an extended birthing season that begins in March and peaks in April. Females leave the ocean to give birth on beaches close to their most recent breeding site, and birthing takes place after an 11-month gestation period, which includes a 3-month period of delayed implantation. Females are solely responsible for rearing their offspring, which takes about 40 days. During this time, females fast and may lose hundreds of pounds. Pups weigh between 14 and 17 kilograms at birth and between 50 and 100 kilograms at weaning. Females wean pups by suddenly abandoning them and returning to the ocean, after which they wait 3 to 4 weeks before mating again. The Hawaiian monk seal's solitary nature is a key adaptation to its harsh environment. Chuckwalla lizard. The Chuckwalla lizard is a prime example of a highly solitary animal, found in the rocky deserts of the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. These distinctive pot-bellied lizards spend the majority of their time alone, exhibiting a range of adaptations that allow them to thrive in their harsh environment. Chuckwallas prefer to live in rocky areas, basking alone on elevated perches to soak up the sun's warmth in the early mornings. They are solitary foragers, hunting for their preferred diet of leaves, fruits, and flowers of desert plants. Male chuckwallas are territorial, aggressively defending their sunny, elevated basking spots from other males that encroach on their land. The only time chuckwallas interact with others is during the breeding season, when males may fight over the right to mate with females. After mating, females lay their eggs in protected rock crevices and do not interact with the males again, raising their young alone. Chuckwallas, Soromalis obesus, are well adapted to their harsh desert environment, able to remain active at temperatures up to 102 degrees Fahrenheit, 39 degrees Celsius. When threatened, chuckwallas will wedge themselves tightly into rock crevices, inflating their bodies to make themselves nearly impossible to extract. The chuckwalla's solitary nature is a key adaptation that allows it to thrive in the arid, rocky deserts of the American Southwest. If you think there might be any other animals that could have appeared in this video, please feel free to leave a comment below. Your input is always appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now.